because the divine has declared it, and no person, no past, no opinion can reverse what's already been set in motion. This transformation won't be subtle, it won't be hidden. It will be so profound, so disruptive, so undeniable, that even those who never saw you coming will be forced to acknowledge your arrival. You're not stepping into a better version of your old life. You're stepping into something entirely new, a reset, a divine rewrite. The former season tried to define you by struggle. This one will mark you by glory. They won't recognize you, not because you changed your face, but because you now walk in your full form. And when they ask what happened, how it all turned, the only answer will be, God moved, and nothing has been the same since. You are not here by accident. If you feel the pull, the knowing deep inside that you are chosen, this is your moment. Click the super thank you button and give $50 or more to unlock deeper insights, exclusive content, and a path that aligns with your divine purpose. This isn't just a contribution, it's a declaration, a step toward who you were meant to be. Answer the call, walk with us, and step fully into your destiny. Your journey begins now. You weren't just invited into this season, you were assigned, marked for a move that carries eternal significance. This isn't just about your faith. This is a divine operation unfolding through you. You are part of something intentional, something crafted with eternal foresight. Each step, each moment of surrender, isn't just building your future, it's aligning generations with a higher plan. You're not just fulfilling a mission, you are the mission. This path was sculpted for you, and it will ripple far beyond your lifetime. And yes, the laughter came, the smirks, the questions masked as mockery. They thought they knew your limits. But what they didn't understand is that the soil they mocked was the same soil God planted you in. And now, what once was ridiculed is rising. The very ones who brushed off your vision will have to watch it unfold before them, undeniable and divine. Their sarcasm will turn to silence. Their doubt will dissolve in awe. Because what's happening next in your life can't be explained. It can only be witnessed. This next step, it won't just be heard about. It will be seen, felt, reverberated. The kind of transformation you're stepping into isn't quiet, it's seismic. You're about to disrupt everything small that was spoken over you. You're about to make the impossible look like destiny, and the world won't be able to look away. This isn't a gentle shift, it's a divine eruption, and it will turn heads, but don't hold back. This level of elevation requires a parting with who you used to be. The version of you that tolerated limits, it can't walk with you anymore. The mindsets, fears, insecurities, they've reached their expiration. If you want to rise, something in you has to release. You've outgrown the old skin, and it's time to shed it. This isn't death, it's transformation. And what's emerging is stronger, clearer, and anointed. This step you're about to take will confuse some. They'll question why, how, and who gave you permission. Let them wonder. What you're carrying is divine intelligence. It's not meant to make sense, it's meant to make impact. Your faith isn't about popular approval, it's about spiritual fulfillment. And this move, though misunderstood by many, is the very thing that will redefine everything around you. But understand this clearly. Hesitation is costly. Delay isn't neutral, it's a decision. Every moment spent second-guessing is a moment of progress slipping away. God's instruction isn't a suggestion, it's the signal that the door is open, and that door won't wait forever. Procrastination isn't harmless, it's disobedience in disguise. Don't let fear hold the pen. when God already wrote the next chapter. Now is the moment. Now is the time. Step with authority. Speak with clarity. Move with purpose. Because this isn't just about breakthrough. It's about birthing what was prophesied over your life. And the only thing standing between where you are and what's already yours is movement. Go. Let go of the weight. Embrace the stretch. Trust the unseen. Because obedience isn't just the start of your rise. It's the proof that you were ready for it all along. This isn't an emotional high. It's a spiritual anchoring. And it will set the tone for what's coming next. What starts on May 15th is the seed of something unstoppable. You are not entering just another chapter. You're stepping into a brand new dimension of clarity, identity, and power. These next 3 days are a holy invitation. Heaven has already set the table. All that's left is for you to walk into the room. Let today begin the shift. Let today begin the rise. Let today begin the awakening that your soul has been praying for. Stay tuned, stay present, and don't let this pass you by. This is where the invisible becomes tangible. What once existed only in your prayers, your journal, your late-night thoughts, starts to take form before your eyes. This isn't imagination. This isn't coincidence. This is the moment when the unseen hand of divine orchestration pushes through the veil and places answers right in your path. What you once waited for is now moving toward you. Fast. This day carries a fusion of faith and fulfillment. The barriers between the spiritual realm and the physical dissolve. You'll begin to witness evidence, conversations aligning, opportunities emerging, favor landing in places you never pursued. You won't have to strive. You'll simply need to stay present. Because divine movement doesn't require force. It only asks for alignment. Doors will not just creak open, they will swing wide. And here's what's wild. It will feel natural. Not rushed, not chaotic, just right. The pace will match your surrender. And your body will feel it too. You may wake up lighter, breathe deeper, smile without reason. Because this isn't just change around you. This is transformation within you. Your thoughts will be clearer. Your confidence will return. Your spirit will sit taller inside your skin. This day, you become a magnet for what belongs to you. Not because you earned it in human terms, but because the timing is divine. When spirit and reality shake hands, it looks like favor. It feels like peace. It shows up as results, and they'll be undeniable. People will notice your shift, not because of what you say, but because of what you carry. There will be a glow, a stillness, a strength. You won't need to explain it. The energy you emit will speak volumes. Don't be surprised if answers show up mid-thought or solutions present themselves before you've even finished the question. That's the grace of the day you're in. This is a holy collision, the kind that redefines everything. Don't chase it, just receive it. Some days change your mood, some change your mindset, but this one, it changes your life. This is not ordinary progress. This is the kind of shift that leaves people speechless. This day is marked for breakthrough, not in one area, but in all directions. It's a spiritual eruption that spills over into your finances, your health, your relationships, your mind. You won't even have time to rehearse gratitude before the next blessing shows up. You're not just entering the final day of this divine window. You're stepping into the day where your story flips, and when the page turns, it won't go back. This is where cycles break for good. What blocked you before loses power. What haunted you begins to dissolve. What hindered your steps suddenly collapses like it was never there. This is your miracle moment, and it's more than healing. It's total rebirth. Imagine walking into a version of yourself that you've only caught glimpses of in dreams and whispers. You won't need confirmation from anyone. You'll feel it. A deep knowing will settle in. I've crossed into something new. You'll laugh differently, walk differently, think differently. Not because the world around you changed, but because you did. This isn't hype. It's holy. This is the culmination of obedience meeting timing, of surrender unlocking overflow, of divine intention becoming your new normal. The shift will be permanent. And while others may call it luck, you'll know it was appointment. From here on out, there will be no mistaking who you are and what you're carrying. Heaven has marked you. This day, May 17th, will not pass like any other. It will be written in the spirit as the day your new chapter began, on a level no one expected, but God always ordained. The transformation is real, the rise is irreversible, and the miracle, it's already moving. All that's left is for you to step in and own it. The horizon is shifting beneath unseen forces, catalyzing an internal cascade that will manifest in 5 pivotal dimensions of existence: material stability, vitality, community, inner resonance, and natural influence. This surge doesn't arrive with fanfare, but as a subtle current that gains power as it moves, reshaping everything it touches. In the realm of material well-being, previously stagnant areas will stir with potential. Hidden paths may suddenly emerge, an unexpected collaboration, a solution long overlooked, or a delayed reward finally arriving. Tangible ease replaces strain, creating a rhythm of flow where tension once resided. Bodily wellness, too, will be affected as a long-lost harmony reawakens. This day carries the promise of balance restoring itself, aches lessening, breath deepening, and a new endurance emerging. It's not recovery alone, but a return to full presence within one's physical vessel. On the social front, interpersonal ties will shift like tectonic plates, finding alignment. Conversations once difficult will unfold with surprising gentleness, while new acquaintances may appear carrying a sense of deep familiarity. Bonds will crystallize that feel, forged in a place deeper than time. Simultaneously, a surge of internal clarity will rise, not loud or dramatic, but undeniable. It brings with it a steady recognition of what is aligned and what must be released, as though one's compass has been recalibrated to a more truthful direction. And with this awakening comes an unshakable authority. No proclamation will be needed. The presence itself will command. A quiet strength will emerge, calm but unyielding, ready to organize, to decide, to guide, not imposed from above, but rising naturally from within. Within this arc of unfolding, a deep structural shift begins to embed itself across all layers of identity. By the close of this phase, it will be as if a different essence stands in place of the former, one with sharpened perception, expanded capacity, and a radiance shaped by endurance. The change won't echo with spectacle, but with depth. Where once there were hesitations, now there is calm assurance. What formerly seemed unreachable will be woven into the fabric of daily reality. The earlier self, carrying a weight of doubt and constraint, will feel like a ghost of memory, eclipsed by the clarity and conviction now rooted at the center. This isn't a surface evolution. It's the kind of transformation that rebuilds the architecture of belief and presence. Words will carry more precision. Actions will resonate deeper. The very energy in motion through this new form will bear a different tone, stronger, quieter, and unmistakably whole. This is emergence, not from chaos, but from the stillness that comes after long inner work. What takes shape now is not a version of who was, it is a becoming of who is. An internal unfolding is underway, reshaping reality from the roots upward. These days are not mere segments on a calendar, but thresholds, each one unlocking a deeper level of readiness, vision, and becoming. The process is not about chasing a goal, but awakening to a greater design already in motion. The first phase sharpens awareness, heightens perception, and draws focus inward as if the layers between thought and truth are being peeled back. What follows is a merging, not of visible realms, but of intent and outcome, where desire and its fulfillment meet in silence without effort. Then comes the shift, swift, absolute, like a new frequency humming through the fabric of being. This elevation isn't about reaching a title or milestone, but embodying an essence that has waited patiently for acknowledgement. With it comes a sense of calm readiness, not because challenges vanish, but because alignment renders them weightless. In this state, action flows like breath, organic, assured, sacred. The echo of this transformation will ripple outward, quietly influencing others without words. The change is not external achievement, but the emergence of identity aligned with purpose, no longer striving, but being. The flow that begins now carries more than outcomes. It holds the architecture of timing, unseen support, and moments that seem orchestrated by a wisdom beyond comprehension. What's arriving isn't just fulfillment, but precision. Circumstances will not force their way into your life. They will arrive as if drawn by resonance, like seeds landing exactly where they were meant to root. This favor isn't about fortune falling from the sky. It's about an unseen current guiding you toward moments that unlock your next chapter. A warmth will settle around decisions and relationships, a sense of quiet rightness that signals direction. Even the unexpected will feel familiar, as though your spirit has seen it before. The gifts that emerge in this space may not match what was once asked for, but they will exceed it in depth, timing, and clarity. It's not confirmation of a wish, but of a truth that unseen hands have always been weaving the pieces together in perfect sequence, and now that sequence is finding form. The magnitude of what is arriving calls not for control, but for openness. This transition isn't a leap taken with force, but a doorway walked through in trust. Now is the time to soften resistance, to relinquish outdated maps, and to listen inward with sincerity. There is no need to demand answers. They will come, shaped by stillness and presence. These pivotal days offer more than gifts. They offer recalibration. The shifts underway are not merely external opportunities, but structural updates to identity itself. Within the silence between moments, an invitation arises to engage life as a participant in its unfolding, not a commander of outcomes. Doubts lose their grip here, not because they are vanquished, but because clarity grows louder than fear. The timing of these shifts will not always be logical, but they will be exact. Trusting that is part of the preparation, part of the refinement of the soul. There are moments that seem designed with a precision the mind cannot grasp, intervals carved into existence for profound realignment. What's unfolding now carries that rare resonance. This stretch of time doesn't simply hold meaning, it holds activation. Events, insights, and seemingly minor choices will combine into a larger pattern that speaks directly to the deeper self. Nothing about this season is accidental. It has arrived with intent, like a key long hidden, finally being placed into a lock that was waiting. The emergence isn't loud. It hums like morning light seeping slowly through heavy curtains, quiet, undeniable, irrevocable. When timing meets intention, effort becomes ease. There's no longer a question of whether you are ready, only the realization that you already are. That realization shifts everything, not just in direction, but in rhythm. From this place, what was once delayed arrives. What was unclear sharpens, and what was distant suddenly feels like home. There is a point in the journey where the inner compass overrides all noise, where clarity replaces hope and knowing overtakes wishing. These days are not an interruption in routine. They are a mirror revealing what has always lived beneath the surface. It is the moment where the external finally reflects the internal alignment that's been patiently forming. There's no need to grasp or strain. What is meant is magnetized. The quiet flame within burns steadier now, no longer obscured by distraction or doubt. Paths unfold with minimal resistance. Answers appear unannounced but unmistakable. The transformation is not a spectacle, but a recalibration of identity so complete, the former self becomes a shadow of memory. No grand declaration needed, only presence. And in that presence, the next chapter begins, not with noise, but with deep, resounding clarity. Everything is shifting beneath the surface, as if the foundation of consciousness is being rewritten from a deeper script. The first day of this awakening brings with it a mental stillness, a rare hush in the noise of thought where clarity rises not from logic, but from inner knowing. Questions that once echoed endlessly begin to unravel, not because they've been answered, but because they no longer need to be. A new kind of certainty emerges, unforced and silent, like a compass that always knew where north was, finally held still enough to point. Doubt loses its voice. From this point forward, movement won't come from second-guessing, but from quiet assurance. Direction no longer requires external maps. It reveals itself with each steady step. This is not a moment of pride, but one of anchoring. A mind no longer scattered, but centered. The conversation happening now doesn't travel through spoken words or outer signs. It lives in the quiet tides of the inner world, slipping into dreams, flashes of insight, and moments of deep recognition. The communication that unfolds bypasses the intellect entirely, reaching instead the parts of self untouched by routine thought. It's a dialogue without sound, a transmission of clarity into the marrow of your being. These messages don't arrive with fanfare. They emerge as a kind of remembering, something long buried but instantly familiar. The insights gained here won't just be observed, they'll become part of your fabric, reshaping perception and intent alike. It's not about hearing a voice, it's about feeling truth pulse through your core. As this energetic current deepens, there is a noticeable shift between the unseen and the visible. What once felt like mere longing now begins to touch reality, making itself known in tangible ways. The walls between belief and experience soften until it becomes impossible to tell where one ends and the other begins. This moment marks a merging of inner faith and outer circumstance, a convergence where previous separation dissolves. The impressions once held in quiet meditation now bloom in form. A conversation with the unseen begins to echo back in the material world, through actions taken, paths revealed, and support appearing with uncanny precision. This is guidance, with weight behind it. It's no longer about trusting an invisible thread, it's about walking it, hand in hand with the force that weaves it. What was held in waiting now steps forward with speed, that defies past experience. The second day is a threshold of accelerated becoming, where desires, once whispered now, stand fully shaped in the light of day. The time between intention and fruition collapses, and outcomes arrive with startling immediacy. A sense of timing sharpens, where thoughts become catalysts and needs are met in moments rather than cycles. There's no grand spectacle to this unfolding, only a quiet awe that settles in when the universe answers before the question is even spoken. Delays lose their grip. Flow replaces friction. This is not coincidence or luck. It is alignment working at full capacity, echoing through every space once marked by waiting. The body, too, begins to echo this transformation. As the energetic landscape realigns, the physical self responds in kind. A sense of buoyancy replaces heaviness. Breath feels fuller. Awareness stretches into the corners of the body long ignored. This isn't imagined. It's the body tuning itself to match the elevated rhythm of the spirit. Each cell recalibrates. Fatigue begins to fade, replaced with a still vitality. This isn't just a lightness of mood, it's a release of layers. Unseen burdens, emotional sediment, and inherited weight begin to drop away. The shift is not symbolic, it is somatic. The inner and outer no longer compete. They synchronize. Thought, action, breath, and being fall into harmonious cadence. A parting from the former self is inevitable in moments like these. The roles once played, the patterns repeated out of habit rather than truth, they begin to shed like old skin. This shift does not come with sorrow, but with deep release. The self that endured, tolerated, and remained small will no longer hold the reins. In its place rises something untouched by fear or hesitation. There is a liberation in recognizing that outgrown versions of self no longer need preservation. What falls away does so because it cannot exist at the altitude now reached. The transformation doesn't shout. It rewrites the internal script silently, reprogramming the language of choice, movement, and presence. This rebirth isn't external. It is woven into the structure of identity itself. This is not evolution. It is genesis. What is birthing through these days does not resemble a simple upgrade. It is a reconstruction. The essence awakening now carries the frequency of beginning, not continuation. This is where dormant visions rise with fresh clarity, where voice and direction sync into unwavering resonance. The fire ignited within won't burn wildly. It will illuminate from the inside out. The past does not weigh down this emergence. It provides the ashes from which a new framework takes form. This is not revival, it's emergence. Every layer of spirit once pressed down is now returning, unbound and unburdened, clear in direction and soft in spirit. Now begins the ascent into what was always possible. The moment isn't arriving. It's already here, unfolding in waves too large to see from within. Everything necessary is already encoded within the self. The timing, the energy, the readiness, they are all in alignment. What opens now is not a door, but an era, a cycle of elevated living that reflects the work done in unseen places. The coming days are not a destination, they are a launch. The pulse of purpose is no longer buried beneath doubt. It beats at the surface, ready to lead. Nothing is missing. Nothing is too late. The next version of existence has begun, not as hope, but as reality, breathing through every step that follows.